Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now we're covering the Grand Slam, the US Open, day 3 of the first round. So pop in the comments, let me see what you're playing for today, and keep your eyes peeled for the pinned comment to see what I'll be playing as well. If you do like the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way for me and for the channel. If you would like to get my picks as soon as I upload, you can subscribe. It's the soonest and fastest way to do so. If you are feeling generous for any wins you get, there's a link in my pinned comment to donate. It's just there if you would like to. And there's also a link to my free Discord if you want to join the community. There's a bunch of us in there talking tennis all day. I also stream a lot of the matches that are hard to watch and hard to get your hands on. So if you would like to get some free streams just to watch the matches, hop in my Discord. It is the place to be. Now, just a quick question. What are we looking like today? We were waiting on some picks to finalize in our last video. Nakashima and Medvedev over 3.5 sets. Nakashima took us to a 5-setter and did it for us. Amazing. And we had, by far, that two-man slip was probably one of the craziest hits we've had on this channel in a very long time. That was better. That was a better win than a long shot win. To have Nakashima go to a 5th set and win that way. To have Medvedev somehow push the match at match point in the 3rd set to a 5th set. The antics behind Medvedev's performance, I don't know how that happened, but we got the results we needed. That's really all I can say. It wasn't the best look for Medvedev. I'm sure he'll be fined more than he made at this tournament. Maybe he might be looking at some suspension. I don't know, but thank you, Medvedev, for whatever you did in New York. That was legendary for my slip. Also, yesterday we had taken Sebastian Korda, as well as Holger Rune and Botic VDZ over 3.5 sets. It was a retirement from Korda in the 2nd set. Thank goodness we got that. But then we had Botic literally just shit the bed for 3 sets straight. Got us so close. We had 2 tie breaks, I'm pretty sure. And he just couldn't get us a set. I'm so disappointed. He's been playing a lot of tennis recently, but still enough to be able to get us a set. So that irked the hell out of me, but it is what it is. Not too mad at it in reality. Just like, damn it. And then we also took over 3.5 sets for the Comasanya and Mickelson match, and also for the Jumhor and Diallo match. I told you that Comasanya was going to win, and I also told you that that was for sure going to go over 3.5 sets. So happy with those results. We can move on to today. And with that being said, our first match is going to be Martin Fucsovics going against Denis Shapovalov. And Shapo has not been looking too great. And so far between these two, there's the 2-2 head-to-head, with half of the matches being on the hard courts. So it's been going back and forth. Back and forth. There's yet to be a straight set win from either guys. So it's screaming over 3.5 to me just off of first glance. Denis won 7-6. Denis won 6-7, 7-5, 6-1 in their last head-to-head in Belgrade in Croatia in the indoor hard courts back in November. And the last match before that was in 2023 on the grass. So that's the most recent. El Chapo got the win. But we did just get a recent title from Fucsovics, who's only dropped a single set, given he had one walkover given to him in that. He won the entire tournament in straight sets, beating Botic, Minaur, Batista Agut, and Talon Griekspoor. Walking over Korda and beating Hugo Gaston, which isn't much to say. But Shapo lost to TN and Nardi recently. So to me, it's screaming that it goes over 3.5 sets, and the way their trends have been looking, 1 wins, 1 loses, 1 wins, 1 loses, back and forth. I would go with a 2-match losing streak, but we got him in the majors. We got to look at how he's been doing last year. That's only the right thing to do. Fucsovics retired, actually, in his first round against Yuri Lehechka last year, if you remember. I vaguely remember that happening. And Dennis lost in the first round to fucking Botic van der School. So this guy beat Dennis and then beat Alcaraz last year, but couldn't beat Holger Rune for a single set. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. I would like to just go for over 3.5 sets here, just because I can't be too sure of how much energy Fucsovics has left and how well Dennis is going to play here in New York. But off top, that would be the one that makes the most sense to me, over 3.5 sets. And we can move on, since we do have quite a few today. But if you have anything else you like for that match, let me know. If you're taking the money line, or if you want to. Dennis is even money. Both of these guys are damn near even money. So they really don't know. It's a toss-up. All right, let's move on. Next, we have Lorenzo Musetti going against Giovanni Mpetshi Perricard. And Gio was actually looking pretty decent in Winston-Salem. Like, honestly. But in their head-to-head history, they've only played on the grass, where Lorenzo Musetti has beaten him every time. 6 straight sets. Five straight sets. Excuse me. So looking at Musetti this season on the hard court, he's 7-7. Last season in the U.S. Open, he did make it to the third round again, lost against Nakashima, beating Opelka in the first round and Kecmanovic in the second round, going to a 5-setter. Gio last year, he did not make it past first round, lost against Echeverry in straights. I honestly don't love this matchup. I'm sure you're gonna go for aces for Gio here. His first serve, if he's playing early, so he'll have a little bit more heat behind his serve, so he'll have a little bit more speed behind it. But Musetti has been playing pretty bad. Outside of his James Duckworth win, he's only won. Oh no, that's his only win since the semifinals in the French Open, losing to Alcaraz. So since then, he's only been able to beat Duckworth on the hard, lost to Cam Norrie in 3, lost to Mickelson in 3, lost to Ben Bonzi in 3. Hasn't been the best. So another over 3.5 sets for these guys. Most likely, I would probably take that and lean a little bit on Gio here, just because of pure statistics. But I wouldn't touch Gio in this first match here. I just don't trust him. I just don't trust the guy. I just don't trust him. He can play as well as he can play in Winston-Salem, but this is not Winston-Salem, so. What other things could we look at for this match? Musetti's a favorite at minus 250. I'm not mad at it. Perricard aces. For it to be plus money, you have to take him for 25 plus aces. So, just to see what he did in the first round against Echeverry last year, probably wasn't too impressive. He only had 15. Yeah, I don't think he gets 20. Oops. But yeah, we can move on. Don't love that matchup too much. Another one that I'm not going to be looking too forward to is going to be this one. Matteo Arnaldi going against Francisco Cerundolo. And this will be their first head-to-head. These guys are pretty strong clay players. So it's getting two clay guys playing head-to-head on the hard court for the first time in a Grand Slam may be a bit weird. Just putting that out there. Last year we did get Arnaldi all the way to the third round, beating Safiullin, Zach Svida, and losing to Jordan Thompson in straights in the third round. Cerundolo made it to the second round, beating Echeverry, losing to Echeverry, but beating Offner. Very impressive stuff there, I guess. But his record last year was 5-2, Cerundolo. Arnaldi's was 17-13. This season, he's 10-5, Cerundolo. And Arnaldi is 9-10. So definitely want to think about that one a little hard, right? Definitely. Probably will stay away from this one. Whoever comes out on top, good for them. Not too sure how it's going to go with two clay players in their first Grand Slam against each other. Should go long. I would put the edge on Cerundolo, given his season so far and how well he has been playing. He hasn't been playing bad whenever I watch him play, so. But we can move right along. And our next match is going to be quite an interesting one. We have Mr. Bublik going against Marin Cilic. And head-to-head wise, Bublik has never been able to beat Cilic. Last time they played was in 2022, which was a straight set win in Queen's Club for Cilic. 7-6, 7-5, and then back-to-back in Rome in 2021 and 2020, 3-set wins. This will be the first time they play on the hard court, and this will be the first time that we get Bublik on the hard court since March. He is coming off of a 8-match win streak from Wimbledon, where he has just been dominating on the clay, playing his game as he very well plays it. And then we have Cilic, who has not played on the hard courts as well. I would like to go with Bublik here for fantasy, just because I don't want to bet on him on his first match back on the hard courts, but I would love for him to win. I'm just not going to be putting money on him, though. It's just not the smart thing for me to do. And so far this season, Bublik is 5-7 on the hard court. Cilic is only 2-2, but win record is definitely higher for Cilic with a 62.9% going against Bublik, who's got a 55.4. Last year in the U.S. Open, he lost in the first round to Jerry Shang in a 5-setter. Bublik did. And Cilic, he actually didn't even participate last season, nor the season before. But he did make it to the fourth round in 2022, where he lost against Alcaraz in a 5-setter. So, that was some time ago. I don't usually count things that happened over 2 years ago. But so far this season, he is 22-11. Bublik is 35-17. I would go for both of these guys to get a set here. A really good bet that exists is for both players to win a set and one to win the match as well, which pays out pretty decently on FanDuel. Let's see. Match and both players to win a set. Yeah, Bublik winning the match, but both of them getting a set is plus 148. That's some type of smoke I would go for, like, as a sprinkle. I wouldn't play it as some real certified smoke, but I do like that bet for Grand Slams, and I wasn't using it a lot. It's a good one that I should go with. But yeah, I like Bublik, hopefully to win, but I couldn't put money on it because he hasn't played on the hard courts yet. Neither has Cilic, so it should be a toss-up. It could go over 3.5 sets. That's priced at minus 168, so not too bad. But I'm going to move along. Next we have, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Alexei Popyrin going against Emil Ruusuvuori. And this is the Australian going against the ranked 752 Finishman, who has not been actually too great. So Popyrin should win in straight sets here. I don't think this guy has any main draw wins. He's going against Popyrin, who does play really well in the U.S. Open. He played extremely well last year, beat Djokovic if I'm not mistaken. He's 6-9 so far this season on the hard courts, and Emil is 1-4, but he has a 65% win rate at his level. So I'm sure it's worth dog shit to take Popyrin today. Yeah. If you wanted to get it at a reasonable price without taking him winning 3-0, you can go under 3.5 sets. So it's not like you're taking his 3-0 set. That's just a little bit nasty sometimes. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Do we get a set from this guy? I don't know. Let's see how Popyrin did last year. We know he made it to the fourth round, beating Djokovic, Martinez, and Sun Woo Kwon in the process, but losing to Tiafoe in 4. And this Emil Ruusuvuori, about 2 years ago, was ranked 37 in the world. So I'm just not hip to this player. They could have easily gotten to this position by just being injured. They did participate in the U.S. Open back in maybe 2022, lost in the first round to Jack Draper. Made it to the second round, lost to Bautista Agut in 2021, but beat Kamil Majchak. So, beating Majchak 4 years ago, I don't know if that translates to getting the set on Popyrin in today's time. But I haven't honestly watched this person play, so I can't give you... I wouldn't say to bet against them because I haven't seen anything, right? So I'll leave that alone as well. But I do like Popyrin winning. I don't know if he gives up a set or not, but it's worth a pretty penny if he does. It's plus 168 if he drops a set and still wins the match. All right. Right along. And next we have Auger-Aliassime going against David Goffin. And man, I do not like the slate today. Auger-Aliassime is on a 2-4-6 match losing streak, and Goffin is on a 2-5 match losing streak. Which is ridiculous. Halys has lost to Kecmanovic, Kovacevic, Fikovic, Holmgren, Bellucci, and Medvedev. Seemingly all since the grass season, halfway through it. He's been losing since Halle. Jesus. How long ago was that? And Goffin's been losing consecutively since Gstaad, which is terrible. His first loss started with Juan Manuel Cerundolo, the lefty, the brother of Francisco. Then lost to Bu in straights, McKenzie in straights, Baez in straights, Martinez in straights. Once you lose to Martinez and Baez in the form they were in, you're not here anymore, bro. You're not here anymore. You're not in this stratosphere. You were in a different one altogether. And Auger-Aliassime is actually minus 200 to win. I don't hate that. I'm not betting on them because they're both playing like shit right now. So I'd stay away. But performance-wise, we can expect more from Auger-Aliassime. I'm a bit more certain on that just from what we've been getting from Goffin. Goffin's 5-11 this season. He ended last season 24-11, where he made it to the third round, lost to Thomas Mahac in straights, but beat Manarino and Tabilo. And then we have last year for Halys, he made it to the first round through qualies and lost to Otto Vernon. So that's just screaming stay away from me. I don't love that match at all. And as far as price goes, Goffin is plus 164 to win as a underdog. Not for me. All right, now moving on, we have Jannik Sinner going against Vít Kopšiva. And this is going to be their first head-to-head, obviously. Jannik, with his recent retirement in Cincinnati, is now gone to 12-0 to 12-1. So he has now been defeated so far this season, but it took all the way till, September to do so. So very impressive. Korda just beat Kopšiva, which is a great indicator that he's not going to be getting anywhere near Jannik Sinner today. Straight set win for Sinner is worth virtually nothing. He's minus 20,000 to lose. To win, I'm sorry. The aces total was at 11.5. I think for Vít Kopšiva, who didn't get a single ace on Korda, got 2 on Offner, and got 1 on Galan back in Cincinnati. Sure, he's not going to be getting many aces on Jannik Sinner. It's plus 420 for him to get 0. I would lean on him getting 0 aces. Or under 2.5. I don't know if he aces Jannik 3 times. It's plus 100 to have him go under. I kind of like it. I kind of like that. As far as the game spread, it's minus 11.5. Jannik has to win by literally 2 full sets, bageling him for this to hit. I don't know if that's going to be necessary. It going under 3 sets is minus 650. Under 4 sets is minus 650. Double fault for Sinner at 2.5. We could get some double faults, but I would go for first set under 8.5 games is what the line is at. So if Korda can break him 6-3, that's going under 9. Under 10. For sure we can get a 6-2 set in the first set. I don't know. I wouldn't go for it. The under 18.5 games for Jannik, we've played that before and it didn't do us too well. So the under aces for Vít Kopšiva is the only thing I'm seeing on that one that's decently priced for anything. Sinner's going to mop the floor with them. Open and shut. And we can move right along. Our next match is going to be Leandro Riedi going against Pedro Martinez. And this is going to be their first head-to-head as well. Riedi is the interesting server that we saw in Cincinnati that lost against Tien in straights, and now he qualified himself all the way into the main draw in the U.S. Open, going to a tiebreak in every match so far. Martinez did go to a tiebreak going against Mpetshi Perricard back in Winston-Salem, right before beating David Goffin. And then back in Cincinnati, he lost in straights to Tommy Paul, but did beat Nicholas Jarry in 3. So I can see this one being a bit of a back and forth as well. I think the serve on Riedi actually will get him the win here. And I'm sure Martinez might be a slight favorite. Oh, nope, he's a dog. I would say that Martinez gets a set here, but both players. Okay, so Riedi wins the match with both players with a set. It's a little risky, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I truly don't. Give me 1 second. Apologies for that. All right, so our next match is going to be Valentin Royer going against Bu Inchakete. And this will be their second head-to-head. They played each other 2 years ago back in Spain in the qualies of Tenerife. Went 6-1, 6-4 Valentin Royer's way. But Bu has been 9-12 this season. He just has not, like, even when he plays well, I don't trust it. He's just not in a winning form. And he had such a great season last season. But this season, I just can't trust him. 6-5 both seasons for Valentin Royer, ending his season last season with a 48-30 record. He's so far this season 46-21, mostly all on the clay. But 12-10 in the past 2 years in the hard court isn't that bad. At least you're ending on a positive note. Last season, we did get him in the U.S. Open. He did only make it to the third round of qualifications before losing to Gabriel Diallo. And Bu last year, we saw him all the way in the first round as well, but he lost to Casper Ruud in straights. I would say that Bu loses this match, but he gets a set. So, I don't know how you want to read that one, but I would take maybe, let's try this new bet out we've been talking about. Matching both players to win a set. Royer to win the match, but both players to win a set is plus 280. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but he's beaten him before. And it was just 2 years ago, just within our window of it mattering. And the form that he is in, I trust it just a wee bit more. Just a wee bit more. The Frenchman, I have good hopes for. Granted, this is Bu's what? Second? First, this is maybe his second U.S. Open. This is Royer's second as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm more impressed with what I've been seeing, ever so slightly, from Royer. Beating Fikovic, Draxel, Offner, Miyoshi, not necessarily too impressive in reality. Bu's had to go through Navone, Tsitsipas, Singh, and Winston-Salem. So definitely harder. Took a set off Fonseca. Lost to Sonego. Beat Kopriva. Yeah. I just don't know. At a Grand Slam level, I just can't trust him. So maybe I won't even touch this match. I did like the Royer to win the match and both players to get a set, but maybe not. Maybe not. I just can't see this guy Royer losing to him. I just can't see it. I don't know why. And I could be very wrong, but I can't see it happening. I don't know why. Next match we have is Lorenzo Sonego going against Tristan Schoolkate. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. We've been seeing some decent plays from Sonego. It's just that when that dude plays, he plays like such a zealot, and he costs himself really important points. That's something about Sonego that we keep seeing. Even at 30 years old, like, he still has this very youthful, zealous play style that gets him in a lot of trouble. And it's not like he doesn't have the focus. He just is hyper-focused on being super aggressive, and it doesn't work out all the time. We did get him in the U.S. Open last year, but not for very long. He lost in the first round because he was going against Tommy Paul. So Tommy Paul was looking really good last year. Fair enough. He made it to the second round the year before in 2023, where he had to go against Jannik Sinner, lost in straights. And in 2022, he started his first round against Jordan Thompson, lost in 5 sets. So This is going to be the first time he has someone a little bit more palatable to go through in the first round. He lost to Oscar Ott in 2021 as well, so he has not been doing well in the U.S. Open. Tristan Schoolkate, on the other hand, he did make it to the second round last year. He lost to Minsick in a 5-setter, but he beat Taro Daniel in a 5-setter. So Schoolkate definitely can hang. He's got a better hard court record for sure. Sonego is more of a clay player, as we know anyway. Schoolkate is definitely a hard court demon. He can hang in there. I like Schoolkate actually winning this. But that's just my delusion. Sonego's 10-10 this season with a 49% win rate. Schoolkate is 30-20 with a 58% win rate this season. Sonego's only played around 170 matches on the hard courts. Schoolkate's won over 140. Challengers. Mostly challengers, but we've seen him kind of crack out of the challenger level this year a little bit. We saw him in Miami where he lost to Felix in straights, but he did bagel Ethan Quinn and beat Adam Walton. He lost to Shapovalov in the quarterfinals in Los Cabos, beating Altmaier and Wu. He beat Fonseca in straights, Govinanda, obviously. But couldn't beat Bossa Right? A bit weird there. A bit weird there. So, definitely should be going to a fourth set. I wonder what the aces are looking like for Schoolkate. I like him getting some aces as well. His aces are at 10.5. I'm not mad at it. The total aces for the match is at 20.5. But it's locked. Yeah, I feel like Schoolkate can win this match. I really do. But like I said, I don't know if I love today. It's not screaming to me. We'll move on. Next we have, who's this, Lloyd Harris? No, Billy Harris going against Felix Auger-Aliassime. And man, oh man, Felix is in the danger zone with me. I do not like dealing with Felix right now. That last performance against Yannick Sinner was abysmal. 6-0, 6-2 Sinner's way. Ridiculous stuff. I don't know if it was nerves or just like I don't know what it is. But he did get rid of Ben Bonzi, who got rid of Medvedev just a few nights ago. Anyway, we go to their first head-to-head, which will be today. Harris is 21-16 on the hard courts with a 62% win rate. Felix is 17-8 still this season. Only lost 8 times. He's 58-80. He's got a 58% win rate. So 4% less than Harris, but he did get to the final in Dubai, semis in Doha, and he won Adelaide first thing this year. So that was a very big surprise. Nobody really saw that coming. And then he beat Sebastian Korda and Tommy Paul in the process. So very crazy that we got that Felix. But will we get this Felix? What Felix do we get for the U.S. Open? The one we got last year, the one that lost in straights to Jakob Mensik? Or do we get the one we got the year before where he lost in 4 sets to Mac McDonald? How about the one in 2022 where he beat Alexander Richard, but lost to Jack Draper in the second round in straights? How about 2021 where he did make it to the semifinals? Carlos Alcaraz retired in the second set, getting him to the semis. Lost to Medvedev in straights, but he beat Tiafoe Bautista Agut. This was pre-injury Felix, so we're not getting that guy, obviously. Billy Harris, 30 years old, couldn't even really fully get himself into the U.S. Open these past 2 years. Past 3 years. Past 4 years. Past 5 years. Has he ever been to the U.S. Open? Let's see. 30 years old. This may be his first time going. He's 30 years old, and this is his first time attending the U.S. Open. What do you think he makes of the situation? He lost to Coleman Wong in the third round of qualies. He beat Kukushkin and James Kent Trotter. Will he be able to take a set off of Felix or beat him? I don't love this match either. I don't. I truly don't. Felix is minus 1,300 to win. Stay away from that match. Stay away from that match. That's all I got for that one. I'm moving right along. Next, we have Stefanos Tsitsipas going against Alex Muller. And this will be their third head-to-head. Tsitsipas winning in straight sets in every match they've played. And they've played in the past year and some change. Tsitsipas beat him in straights in Rome on the clay and in Shanghai on the hard in 2024. Given the recent form we've been seeing Tsitsipas in, I don't want to touch him until we can see that he's trustworthy to get to the first round. See if he's knocked himself out of this mental space that he's been put in after his breakup. I don't want to deal too much with him right just yet. He is 10-8 on the hard courts this season. Muller is 11-9, so neck and neck with him. 3% difference in win rate. 3% goes on Tsitsipas at the 64%. Muller at 61%. Outside of the Fabian Matajan win that Tsitsipas has gotten in Cincinnati in the second round for him, he's been on a 2, 4, 5 match losing streak outside of that. Muller lost to the 17-year-old. Excuse me. Muller lost to the 17-year-old Darwin Blanc. And Winston-Salem lost in 3 sets there, so that's a bit worrisome. But lost to Gio in straights. He beat Darwin Blanc in 3 sets, but lost in straights to Gio. I don't love this match either. I'm going to stay away from this one. If I play DFS, I'd play DFS, DraftKings, maybe try out Tsitsipas and see what he's looking like for that today, but I wouldn't put any full money on anything in this match either. So crazy how they just put all the great matches in the first 2 days and then just throw these together. All right, our next one is going to be Ugo Gaston going against Shintaro Mochizuki. And they're 1-1 in their head-to-head history. They've only played each other in qualies in the first round Wimbledon, which is hilarious. Last year and in 2021, it went back and forth. Mochizuki's been playing better on the hard court, just straight up. Gaston, outside of winning through retirement from Matteo Bellucci, he is on a 6-match losing streak. Mochizuki's winning the past 3 matches he's been playing in New York, beat Galan, beat Burachaga, and Rudinov. I like that he's gotten those wins. He lost to Shevchenko, though, in the Sumter Challenger, which is a bit concerning. But beat Miselic. I'm not mad at that. Went to a tiebreak with Coleman Wong. Not mad at that either. Yeah. I like Mochizuki to win this. I'm sure he's a heavy favorite, being as though Gaston's been pretty bad. Wow. Mochizuki is a good price. That is what we might be rocking with for today. That's a good price. Let's see why he could be that price. Gaston is 9-11 this season. Shintaro Mochizuki is 23-12. Do we think he drops a set to Gaston? I don't know how well Mochizuki would play against left-handed players. Last year, he also beat Borchaga in straights in the qualies. Lost to Radu Albert, though, in 3 sets. The year before, in 2023, he tried to qualify again, lost to Arthur Cazal. And then for Gaston, mind you, Gaston is 14-23 on the hard court in the past season and a half. On the hard courts alone, he has not won a match. Like, he hasn't actually won a match. Since March and the Phoenix Challenger where he beat Riley Opelka. That was the last real win he's got on the hard court. March. It's a very long time. Mochizuki. But anyway, going back to the year before. First round of the U.S. Open, he loses in straight sets. So, to Acosta. Diaz Acosta. So, I like Mochizuki here. It's a very good money line. I'd be surprised if he loses to this guy here. The furthest he's been is the second round of the U.S. Open. Gaston. So, I'm looking for Mochizuki to get it done here. That's a good pick. I like it. All right, next we have Daniel Altmaier going against Ahmad Medjedovic. Medji's been giving us some good money. Past few back last week in Winston-Salem, he was doing us in pretty well. Lost in straight sets to Gio, surprisingly, but did beat Diallo in straights, Fernley in straights, and Rinderknecht in straights. Looked really good. Lost to Alcaraz in straights, but beat Griekspoor and Kovacevic as well after his retirement in Wimbledon. So seeing him come back, he looks like he's healthy. Him and Altmaier have a 1-1 head-to-head, and this will be their first time on the hard courts, but they've played each other on the indoor hard courts and the clay this year. Medjedovic did win on their hard court matchup. I like him winning this one as well today. I can see him dropping a set, though. They never play a straight set match between the two of them. And I would, honestly here, I would go with the Medjedovic to win and both players to get a set. That's a pick I'd like. Altmaier is 7-13 this season, but I think he's capable of getting a set. I do. And Medjedovic is minus 330 to win. The certified smoke would be to take that, right? The plus 146. Anyway, first set win and match. It's even money for Medjedovic. Not worth that either. Yeah, Medji should get the money line here. But I would hope he would drop a set for the price. We can move right along. And next we have Gael Monfils going against Roman Safiullin. And this is actually going to be their first head-to-head. 9 years apart. You have to play each other. The ranked 49 and ranked 94 go head to head. Gale has been a bit shaky. I think he's on his exiting tour right now. The way he's been playing is like, I don't really care. I'm losing because I'm losing, and that's it. It doesn't seem like he's really that into it, but the U.S. Open is a place where we do know that we'd like to get a little bit more from Gale. He did win his first round against Diego Schwartzman, but he did lose in 4 to Casper Ruud the very next match in round 2. And very much of the same in the year before. He lost to Rublev in 4 sets, but also beat Daniel in 4. So the trend I do see here is that it is always a 4-setter when we get him in New York. At least over the past 2 years. Since 2023, he's been giving that to us. So he didn't go in 2022. And, okay, since 2021, there's only been one match where he didn't give us over 3.5 sets. Him going against Safiullin, who is 8-11 this season. I don't know if the serve will keep him in this, but the showman does like to give people a show, so who am I to say that he doesn't give up a set here? Over 3.5 will definitely be a move. I'm sure it's super minus. Minus 180 isn't that bad, but yeah. Okay. Well, we're wrapping up here. We got about like 4 matches left, so let's get through them. I do think Gale wins. I'll probably play this on DraftKings though. 14-7 so far this season, going against 8-11. I like Gale's chances there. All right, next we have Nuno Borges going against Brandon Holt. Got the Portuguese going against the American. Both of them on a 3-match losing streak. Borges losing to Rinderknecht, Ruud, and Maifshek. Holt losing to Boyer, Svida, and McDonald. So challenger level players. Borges should be the guy that wins this match. Should being the key word. He is 12-11 so far this season, but he still has a 68% win rate. Borges does. And Holt is 29-13 with a 63%. He's just been playing too many challengers to be ready for this, in my opinion. Brandon Holt is not U.S. Open ready. He didn't even qualify last year in the first round of qualies. Lost to Abdullah Shobe. And we got all the way to the 4th round with Borges last year. He beat Minchik in a 5-setter. 3rd round. Bageled him in the last set, too. So, also beat Kokkinakis and Cordia. I would go with... And then he lost to Medvedev pretty crazily, but hey, Medvedev on the hard court last season was still Medvedev. Borges is minus 280 to win. I wouldn't take him, but I feel like he'll win. The spread is at minus 4.5 for him. I don't love that either. It could be a long one, though. Maybe go over games. Or maybe not. Maybe not, honestly. All right, next we have Chris O'Connell going against Alex de Minaur. And this is going to be their 3rd head-to-head. And it will be the 3rd head-to-head on the hard courts. De Minaur was a walkover. Got a walkover from Chris O'Connell in Toronto earlier this year, as we saw, right? They never got to play each other, but it was there. I think he was not looking forward to going against him twice before the U.S. Open. So O'Connell did win in their 2016 head-to-head in 3 sets in the Australian Open. But that was first round, and some time ago, about 9 years ago. There's about 74 ranks between them now. 73 to be exact. Chris O'Connell's 13-10 on the hard court. De Minaur's 20-7. We know how well this guy plays on the hard court. He is a demon. He made it to the quarterfinals last year, beating Jordan Thompson, Daniel Evans, Otto Vernon, Marcos Giron, and lost to Jack Draper in straights. Season before that, he got to the fourth round, seemingly only dropping a set in the process. Last year, O'Connell and the U.S. Open got to the third round where he lost against Sinner, but he did win in 4 against Bellucci and Jerry. Nicholas Jerry and Matteo Bellucci both losing. And then he lost to Medvedev in 4 in 2023 and beat Max Purcell in the round before that. Do we think he takes a set off the Demon? I don't think so. I do not think so. About 8% difference in win rate on the hard court. De Minaur obviously leading. I would play De Minaur on DraftKings today just because he's going to be too inflated. His price is going to be, what, minus 1,300? Nobody cares when it's like that, bro. No, you can't do shit with that. Minus 3,500, my mistake. Ridiculous. Maybe get him on the spread, if that's even worth anything. Minus 8.5. Leave me the fuck alone. All right, next match is, who is this, Moller? Elmer Moller going against Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul beat him earlier this year in the French Open in 4 sets. Tommy Paul has not been playing in a promising fashion. Losing to Manarino in 3 in Cincinnati was not in the bingo card at all, but it happened. I said he could lose to him. He lost to him before, but I didn't think that he'd be losing like that on American soil. Thought he'd be in way better shape than that. But Muller's been playing on clay this entire time, so Tommy Paul is going to dog walk him. Oh, Muller's also 0-5 this season on the hard. Tommy Paul is 11-6. What do you want to talk about with this one? Not much to talk about. Tommy Paul should win. Otherwise, you're getting a ridiculous upset that I don't foresee happening. It is the late night game. Because I don't trust the form, I'm not going to touch Tommy. He may drop a set. He might not. You never know with Tommy nowadays. And last but not least, we have Sasha Zverev going against Alejandro Tabilo. And this is going to be their second head-to-head. Last year they played in the semifinals in Rome, where Zverev won 1-6, 7-6, 6-2. Tabilo was in Winston-Salem, lost in 3 sets to the ranked 400 Suresh. 6-21, Suresh, the Indian 25-year-old. So that's a bit concerning, right? Zverev should probably get through this guy without losing a single set. Zverev has a great history here in the U.S. Open and a great record so far this season. 19-6 compared to Tabilo's 4-8. And last season in the U.S. Open, he did make it all the way to the quarterfinals. Tabilo couldn't make it past round 1 against Goffin. So, pretty simple stuff there. No need to get too deep about nothing. Zverev spread here, minus 8.5, I'm sorry. He's got to win 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. I could see it for him. I wouldn't play it, but I could see it happening. Sure, why not? I could see it happening. But that will wrap up all of the picks that we do have for today. So make sure you guys get a good look at the video. Go to the timestamps if you need to see which match you need to see before this starts off. You have like about an hour and some change. Make sure you guys get those down and ready. And I will chill today, watch the matches. I'm off today and off tomorrow. So got some time to chill, recuperate for the rest of my work week. Looking forward to watching at least the... I don't even know. I'm not too excited about the matches today. I like the over 3.5 for Fucsovics, Sonego, Monfils. I like the Shintaro, Mochizuki money line. I like the under 3 aces for Kopriva and Medjedovic to win the match for both players who win a set. I like that as well. So, if you guys like those, let me know in the pinned comment. If you're playing anything else, let me know. I will catch you guys in the very next one. It's been a great U.S. Open so far. Very entertaining for me. I'm looking forward to the matches tomorrow more than today, but I will catch you in the next one. You guys take care. Be smooth.